Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that has sparked plenty of debate and conversation over the years, the different needs between men and women. While every individual is unique, there are some general patterns and tendencies that we will be exploring in terms of physical, psychological, and emotional needs. This video is all about understanding the differences and why recognizing them can help us communicating better, form stronger relationships, and live more balanced life. So let's jump right in. When we talk about men and women needs, the first thing that comes to my mind that is biological and physical differences. This is where the gender divide tends to be most pronounced. Let's start with nutrition. Both men and women require certain nutrition, but the specific quantities can vary. For example, men generally require higher calories due to having a heavier muscle mass. Protein needs are higher for men, and they also have a higher metabolism compared to women. Women, on the other hand, may need more iron, especially during menstruation, pregnancy, and breastfeeding. This biological difference influences diet choices and nutritional needs. When it comes to exercise and physical activity, men and women's needs also differ. Men tend to focus more on strength training, muscle building, and endurance activities. Women, on the other hand, prioritize often flexibility and toning, with many focusing on cardiovascular exercises or mind-body activities like yoga or Pilates. While both gender benefits from a balanced workout regimen, the type of activity can differ based on biological tendencies. And sleep, yes, even sleep needs can be different. Research shows that men on average sleep slightly less than women. Women tend to need more rest to recover from hormonal fluctuations, especially during certain times of the month. So men may be okay with less sleep, but women might need to adjust their sleep habits during hormonal shifts. Next, moving on to emotional needs. This is where the conversation often gets more complex. While there are individual differences in emotional needs, regardless of gender, society often shapes that men and women comfortable expressing. First, let's talk about emotional support. Women in general often seek emotional connection and verbal communication. They tend to have a strong desire for understanding and empathy, especially when dealing with stress and difficult situations. For many women, talking through their feeling with someone close provides comfort and sense of relief. For men, emotional support is often needed, but may be expressed in different ways. They may prefer action-oriented solutions over verbal processing. For example, if something is bothering a man, he might appreciate a partner helping him fix the issue, rather than just listening and offering empathy. However, that doesn't mean men don't value emotional connection. They do, but their method of seeking comfort is different. Communication styles also differ significantly between men and women, and understanding these differences can greatly improve relationships, whether personal or professional. Women generally tend to communicate more openly and may use more words to describe their emotions or experiences. They value connection through conversation and tend to be more expressive. For women, talking is often a way of bonding, sharing, and getting closer to others. On the other hand, men often engage in more direct and concise communication. They may not elaborate as much on feelings or thoughts unless asked directly. For men, communication might be focused on facts or solutions, and often they express themselves in more action-oriented ways. The difference in style can sometimes lead to misunderstanding, where one gender feels the other gender isn't listening or isn't being emotionally available. But the key takeaway here is that both styles have their strengths, and it's important to adjust based on who you are communicating with. Let's talk about psychological needs, which are often the most nuanced. Men and women both need a sense of purpose, self-worth, and validation, but the ways in which they seek and feel these needs are often different. For most women, security and emotional closeness are major psychological drivers. Women often feel more validated in their relationships when they feel emotionally secured, and when their partner and close friends are showing their affection and care. They need to feel emotionally appreciated and supported to feel their worth. For men, the need for respect and admiration is often more prominent. Men may seek validation through their achievements, status, or role as a provider or protector. While emotional connection is important, they often derive a lot of their self-worth from external acknowledgement and recognition of their capabilities. When we get into relationship needs, these differences are often more obvious. Women tend to seek deeper emotional intimacy and connection. They need to feel cherished and valued, not just for what they do, but for who they are. Women often want their relationships to be a safe space where they can be vulnerable and supported. Men, however, may prioritize feeling like they are needed or important in the relationship. They might seek more autonomy at times and may not express the same desire for verbal affection. However, they still need companionship and sense of trust in their relationships. Men also need their space to engage in hobbies, work, or activities that allow them to feel competent and successful. On the social front, men and women can have different social expectations as well. Women, particularly in close friendships, tend to engage in emotional sharing and bonding. They may form deeper, supportive network of friends, often placing a high value on maintaining these relationships. Men also have close friendships, but their relationships might revolve more around shared activities or common interests rather than deep emotional sharing. Men might not call each other to talk about their feelings as much, but they will bond over activities like sports, video games, or work-related projects. Both need social connections, but the style and expression of that connection can vary. At the end of the day, while men and women may have different needs based on biological, emotional, and physical factors, it's important to remember that individuals vary widely. These differences don't define somebody entirely. They are just broad patterns that can guide us in understanding each other better. Understanding and respecting these differences can strengthen our personal relationships, improve our communication, and help us support each other more effectively. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with these differences? Or have you noticed something unique on your relationship? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.